and there's a reason for that. Um, I'm not that great impromptu, and goodness knows what could go on. So if this abruptly ends, it's because I'm trying to not make a fool of myself. But either way, just a couple of interesting developments to share from the garden. Pardon the sirens, not sure what's going on down the road. Anywho, um, if you noticed, we did have an awful lot of caterpillars that arrived on the milkweed. After this milkweed went bare, um, from the meeting at all, it ended up really all stems, and then they moved on. So I have a system we've set up where basically this is the main milkweed bed, and we have milkweed trails around it so that when one plant or a section of plants go bare, they can very easily move on. Caterpillars are little, of course, and they don't move very fast. They don't go very far. So even when they are of full size and getting ready to pupate, they only go at most maybe 20 feet away from their food source. So I wanted to make sure that when they ran out of food here at the main bed, that they could easily get to other food without running out of energy and dying or being too susceptible to prey as they were looking for it. So we've got one, two, three milkweeds growing here. As you can see, these two are bare. You probably can't even see this one here. It's really bare. This one is quite bare, but with some better stems, and one caterpillar actually still on it that I did not see earlier. This one has been eaten up pretty good, but still got some. But like I said, the main bed is completely just gone. They ate it all. They decimated it. So I came through after they were all moved, and I gave it a fresh cutting, very, very deep cutting. I'm kind of hoping to keep the growth a little more under control, because our problem has been butterflies coming to lay eggs when there just hasn't been enough growth yet to sustain the hatched caterpillars. So I'm hoping that since I cut it back pretty dramatically this time, it won't grow back too quickly, and maybe we'll be able to build up some before the next batch. Either way, from that main bed there, as I said, we built up a little trail of milkweed here. And we have, on this one, I'm going to try to get in there to see it. There's one little guy there. Oh, he's saying hello. And then we have one, I think, under this, yeah, under this leaf. So there's still two on this plant. The one next to it is picked clean. Bear with me, I'm kind of crawling around here trying to get through. And this one is picked clean. But then we come to this. This is what's so cool. I did not really check out this plant for a bit because there were a lot of wasps attracted to it when it was flowering. But now that I came over here, I have found all the caterpillars that were over in the main bed eating have made their way over here. And they're big. If you can see, I don't know how well you can see. I'm trying to get in there without being disruptive. But there's, at last count, about 18 in here, including one super tiny guy right here. You see him? Hopefully you can kind of get a look at him there. But he's teeny, teeny, tiny, especially if you look at this gargantuan thing here in comparison. And then we've got one here. I'm not sure where he's going. I actually put him back in there a little while ago. I don't like to handle them. I just don't agree with that. So what I do is I get like a little stick of the milkweed, a little stalk, and I wait for them to climb on it, and then I place the stick in there. So that's what this stick is doing there, to let them kind of crawl in naturally. But he crawled back out. So I'm not sure where he's trying to go, and I'm not sure where this guy's trying to go. But either way, there's about 18 or so very large caterpillars in here. I'm trying to get a good look at their antenna. If you have been paying attention and if you've been following all the monarch journey, You know, that I told you, the antenna, they're kind of the indicator about when they're ready to pupate. When they are at their fifth instar, which is kind of their fifth growth spurt, just before they go to pupate, their antenna will get kind of a rope-like look to them and still be, instead of being just straight and clean, they get kind of these knotty looking things in them. I'm not really noticing that yet, but I have to admit, these are probably the biggest, fattest caterpillars I've ever had. So I'm not sure when they will be trying to pupate. I've been coming out here and checking on them every hour and doing a count and trying to keep watch for where they go. And the reason why, as much as I've said a million times that I try to be kind of low to no interference, as you've seen, I will step in if there's good reason and if I really think that they've just had a bad run of luck. And right now, even here in Florida, we're getting a cold snap, just like so many of you are in other places. And these last couple of days, it's gotten down to the, I think, low 50s, high 40s overnight. And yeah, when they go into chrysalis, I'm probably going to go ahead and bring them in so that they will have a safe place to transform away from the elements a little bit. So I'm keeping a close watch and trying to determine where they end up. And goodness knows when that will happen, but typically they go to this bush here or to this big Buddhist pine here, and that's where they tend to pupate. That seems to be their preference so far. That isn't always the way of it. I have found them in all sorts of places. Underneath the bird baths, I've seen them even under the stairs over here. So they can be anywhere, and it's kind of like a crazy nature Easter out here trying to find the different chrysalides after they form. But yeah, that's kind of where we stand right now, trying to help this group of caterpillars get to where they're supposed to be. And we've also worked on the garden some this weekend with some other improvements. Hello, everybody. Starting to see the chat now. Sorry, again, new to this. I'm slow. But we've added more of these tea plants along here to kind of form a little border with the birds of paradise. And that'll be kind of our little tropical hedging, we're hoping. And we also bought, this is giant milkweed. So this will technically be the fifth type of milkweed that we've put out here. And oh my goodness, I'm just discovering this. There is a caterpillar on the milkweed. And this is far away from the other milkweed. So I have no idea if this one came from over there somehow, or if it came on the milkweed that I purchased from a private individual yesterday. That's weird. I literally am just seeing this now. So yet another caterpillar. This one on the giant. Unfortunately, the woman that we bought these from, it was off Facebook Marketplace, which I really try to avoid buying things off there. I just don't trust people enough. And sure enough, she sold us 6 of them, saying that they were rooted. And when we got home, only one of them actually had a root ball. The other ones were completely not rooted. There's no way she could have thought they were rooted. So kind of got scammed, but we're hoping that they will still grow. So that's giant milkweed. Then we have, this is scarlet milkweed that we just bought. That's another batch of scarlet milkweed we just bought back there. And of course, the tropical that we grew along here. And down there at the end, the big one, that's the aquatic milkweed that we got from Joyful Butterfly. So lots of different types of milkweed. Oh, and the 5th one that I did not show. These are the butterfly milkweed seedlings that I've grown from seed. We have some inside that we grew hydroponically that is actually doing much better than these. So eventually these will get transplanted into the others, and hopefully until then, these extremely hungry caterpillars will stay away. So yeah, caterpillars eat a lot, and that's why honestly, when this whole thing started, if you can see, let me go back over here. This is the shameful side of our yard. This is what everything used to look like. And we don't actually have dirt. What we have is some kind of like clayish sand. And even when we bought the home, the woman told us that she had been trying for years and years to get anything to grow here, and it doesn't. Nothing seems to grow except for, of course, our beautiful oak. But everything else is just dirt and disgusting. So that's what we've been working to kind of battle. And we've finally gotten at least this side up to par. And next we will be working on the other side, which is where we're going to put the squirrel feeder. And I guess a squirrel feeding station of some sort. Really don't know what else, but certainly open to ideas. If you have any cute suggestions for what to do around an oak tree, especially one that has so many babies. I don't know how much of this you can actually see or hear, but this tree is full of palm warblers and mourning doves. So yeah, they flutter around. I'm out here actually just a little bit past their really active time. But anywho, that's kind of what's going on. And yes, we're monitoring the caterpillars now to see how many we end up with that successfully form their chrysalides. So one more time this evening, a little group look at them. Oh, now we have two on this. They're crawling off into the tea tree, and I have no idea why. But anywho, wish them luck. We'll see how many successfully make it to butterflying. Very worried about Tiny there, but goodness, he's cute. And of course, our little lost one here. Either way, stay tuned and let's see how it goes. Wish them luck. And thanks for tuning in. See you soon.